One of the newest enemies in Helldivers 2 is the eagle-like ship, the Stingray. Or is it the Interloper? There are two different names for it, which is really strange, and they appear everywhere. The Stingray name appears in the patch notes and part of the wiki, while the Interloper name is also in parts of the wiki and in the game. So this leads me to think, which one is supposed to be the real name? I personally prefer Interloper, but in the wiki it is shown that the developers have said that it is supposed to be the Stingray and that Interloper is just a bug. How is that a bug? I don't know. Apparently they renamed it something. That tells me that Interloper was a name they had thinking for it, which Interloper is cooler. So that's what I'm going to call it for the video. But still a weird bug. The Interloper is a new enemy unique to Helldivers 2, having not been in the first game, as is the case with all of the current Illuminate enemies. And I also doubt we'll get any of the old Illuminate enemies to begin with. They just are a little bit older, and the newer ones are they're good. They're good enemies. But again, that whole old enemies to new enemies, that's a conversation for a whole nother video. You'll see soon. The Interloper is basically a close air support aircraft for the Illuminate with plasma strafing runs. That's the only attack it really has. However, it is devastating how bad the attack is. Well, I say bad, how devastating. It's really dangerous, is what I'm saying. They spawn at random on trivial and higher missions, like lower frequency on the lower missions, and then it goes higher. They don't spawn at the beginning of the missions either, which is nice, so you're not getting spawn killed by Interlopers. Stingrays, whatever. They will typically fly a few loops around the map before it begins its attack runs. So you'll see it because it has blue streaks behind it as it's flying around, and it makes noises, like loud noises, as it's flying around. And when it begins its attack run, they're fatal. If you get hit, you're dead. It's instant death every time, which is horrifying. Now, you can see where it's going to attack because there's a bright blue strip on the ground of light that appears, and if you just get out of the strip, you're completely safe. Now, granted, you have like 3 or 4 seconds, but hey, you'll be able to get out of the way. And you will get disintegrated if you're in the middle. Like, when you die, typically you get like little gibbets, little parts of maybe the whole body just laying on the ground. If you get hit by the middle of this, you disintegrate. There is no body. There is no nothing. I mean, I guess your weapons and all the other stuff drops, but your body is gone. The Interloper will begin its attack run as it will slow down and lower its altitude and emit several blue lights in the front of it. This means it's about to attack, and it's basically sizing up its attack run. It then will fire a strip of plasma orbs, and again, one shot. Any Helldiver that's unlucky enough to be in the way will die. Period. End of story. Closed casket funeral. Once it's finished its attack, it takes off before repeating the exact same sequence. It will do this indefinitely until you kill it, so it is very important to take care of it before it gets out of hand. So, it's very dangerous. We've established that. But how do we defeat it? Well, honestly, it's actually not that difficult to kill it if you know what you're doing. To avoid its attack, again, the path is on the ground. You can just dive out of the way and run. You have a couple seconds to do so, and then you're just out of the way and you're good to go. Now, the Interloper has only medium armor, which is honestly a little bit shocking, but it kind of makes sense since it's such a powerful weapon. It only has medium armor and about 800 health, and can be taken down with something like a Liberator Penetrator. Medium armor penetrating gun. Granted, it will take a couple passes as you can't hit it completely, but you can take it down with a Liberator Penetrator. You can also take it down with 4 shots from the Diligence Counter Sniper. I believe, I've actually never tested it, but based on the math, that's what you can do. If anyone's actually tested that, leave a comment down below. I'd like to know if that's actually true, so I'm not going to guarantee that. But based on the math, that's what you can do. 4 shots, Diligence Counter Sniper, it's dead. Or, well, no, okay, not the new amendment. The amendment does 200 damage as well, but it's light armor, so that doesn't work. Now, the best weapons are the rocket weapons. They're significantly more effective, the best of which is the spear. the spear will target it, and if you don't hit it on its attack run and it, takes off and zooms away, this spear will chase it down until it is back to an attack run and it will kill it. There is no timer for the spear. The spear will go until it gets it, which basically means you can fire and forget, which is huge. It's better than the commando or the recoilless rifle in that way. I mean, spears should be almost required right now for the Illuminate. Especially if you're running a big, like a 4-man squad, like one person should take a spear just so they can deal with the interlopers. Now, when you successfully take down an interloper, it doesn't just fall straight out of the sky. It will glide down to the ground and explode, hitting and killing any helldiver who is unfortunate enough to be in the way. So do be careful about that. I'd say, typically when you're shooting it, it's coming at you, so be careful. Now, before we continue, I just want to ask if you've hit the subscribe button and left a like. It means a lot to me if you do, and it inspires me to make more amazing content like this. So thank you for watching, and let's get back to the video. The Interloper is a newish type enemy. I say only newish because it functions like the Automaton's drone ship or the bug Shrieker. Air support that is a nuisance. However, it is probably the most dangerous as it is a large strip and can take up multiple at once. Yes, I know the Shriekers can be pretty bad as well, but they're on a group. Same thing with the drone ships. Again, when they're in a group, if they're one, you can usually take care of them. Now, the other thing you can do is you can prevent Shriekers and drone ships from spawning. By taking out like the drone factories and the Shrieker nest. You cannot do that with the Interloper. Period. It just spawns at random, not with patrols or just, not with the drop, but it's just at random. It'll just show up. It's horrifying. Now, with the new Interloper, I like the idea of more aerial units. Yes, we have those 3, and I guess the dropships too from both enemies, but what would be really cool is if in the future we could get an aerial unit for ourselves, not the Eagle or the ship, but like one that we can actually fly. Think of like a Pelican that someone can drive, and then your squad mates can mount up on machine guns mounted on the doors, something like that. I think that would be a really cool idea. Now, of course, there's inherent issues with this. Like, for one, if it's a stratagem, like the FRV or the fast recon vehicle, it's extremely overpowered because you're just gonna hover above a group of enemies and just mag dump machine gun turrets off the side of it until everything's dead. So probably to circumvent that, either it would have to be super weak and basically have nothing on it, or it would be a new mission type where you go to a base, there's a Pelican, and you need to move the Pelican from this base to the next. I think that would be awesome. While you're doing it, there's enemy fire taken up on you, like anti-air missiles, maybe enemy aircraft, something like that. Maybe not that much, that's a bit much, but something like that would be really cool. Now, it honestly, this probably won't happen. It's a bit difficult to pull off, and I don't know if Arrowhead really wants to do that. Hey, Arrowhead, if you're watching, I would really love for you to do that. But again, Arrowhead doesn't watch my videos, so it's whatever. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more like it, again, subscribe button, like, comment, whatever you want to see next. And I will see you on the next one. Remember, Helldivers, for Super Earth and managed democracy. I'll see you next time.